In this video, we're going to talk about alternator charging for your house battery system. I'm going to talk about some of the different types of alternator charging that we use, secondary alternators, Victron Orion DC to DC chargers using the factory alternator, and whether or not you can run more than one of those DC to DC chargers. And I'm also going to show you exactly where we connect the cables to the starter battery and how we run them back to the house battery system. So if you're building out your own van, or if you're thinking about using a builder and you just want to make sure that you know the facts about alternator charging, then this video is definitely for you. So let's get into it. So I've been getting a lot of questions lately about alternator charging. Questions about using the factory alternator, how much can you pull from that, secondary alternators, and one of the most common questions I've been getting is how do you run the wires from the starter battery back to your house battery? So I'm going to get into all that, but before I do, I just want to quickly mention that we're holding an open house here in our shop on Saturday, February 14th. I know it's Valentine's, but it's just in the morning from 9 to noon. This van right behind me is the most tricked out van we've ever done. It's got a double passenger seat, it's got a shower, it's got a galley, it's got a dinette, it's got alternator charging, it's got a pop top up on top so that he can sleep his grandkids in it. It's got a hydronic system with in-floor heat. This thing is tricked out. So come to our shop, you can tour this van, you can ask all your van questions, you can check out our extruded aluminum cabinetry, our drop-in systems, and ask us all the questions you want. So I'll drop a link down in the description with more details. We hope to see you there. So there are two main options for alternator charging. One is using the factory alternator, and the other one is adding a secondary alternator. Now in this van, and also the other one I'm going to show you, we've done secondary alternators. We like to use the Arco Zeus. The alternator and regulator are both made by the same company, Arco Marine. These are great alternators. They come in 12, 24, and 48 volt versions. They're approved by Mercedes-Benz, so these are awesome. But a secondary alternator system is probably going to cost you around $4,000. So it's not cheap, but it is going to give you a lot of power when it comes to charging. It's going to likely give you anywhere between 3,000 and 5,000 or 6,000 watts. Now the other option is tying into the factory alternator. That's a lot less expensive. You're going to be able to buy the DC to DC chargers for a little over $300 each, and with the wiring and everything, even if you do two of those chargers, you're going to be about $700, $800 for all the parts and materials. Now that's going to give you about 100 amps of charging if you do two of the Orion XS 1400s, which are the ones that we recommend, which is about 1400 watts. So if you compare 1400 watts from the two Orions versus 300 to 600 watts from the secondary alternator, you can see that there's a lot of benefit to using a secondary alternator, especially if you have a really large battery bank. For example, this van right here has a 15,000 watt hour battery bank. The one that I'm going to show you next to it has a 10,000 watt hour battery bank. So if you're getting up around 10,000 watt hours or more, then you might want to consider going with a secondary alternator. But if you're more in the 5,000 to 7,000 watt hour range for your house battery bank, you can probably get away with the Victron Orion DC to DC chargers and save yourself some money, especially if you're going to be driving a few hours every day or two. Now, there are a lot of considerations when it comes to the wiring and connection on these. I'm going to show you the way that we do it and what we use, but you need to do your own research. This is for demonstration purposes only. I can tell you that there's a couple of good resources that we use. One is if you just search online for the Blue Sea wire sizing chart, you'll see this colorful chart that kind of shows you what size wire you need to use for different amperages. And then the second one is just AI. ChatGPT or Grok, both are really good about giving you all the specifics on what you should use. But I will say that they can make mistakes. I usually use Grok and ChatGPT and compare the two, make sure that they're in line, and then I'll even go to the Blue Sea chart and just make sure that what I'm reading there is correct. But with AI, you can just say, hey, I've got a 2025 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter. It's a diesel, all-wheel drive. I want to connect a DC to DC charger to my factory alternator, It's going to be a Victron Orion XS 1400. I'm doing 2 of them in parallel. What size wire and what size breaker should I use? And it'll give you all of that. So I encourage you to use that, but again, double check and verify. But I'm going to show you what we do. So let's first talk about the connection points to your starter battery. Before we get into that, I just want to mention that Mercedes-Benz does not want you to exceed 50% of your factory alternator capacity. Most of these newer vans have anywhere from a 220 to a 280 amp factory alternator. It can be tricky sometimes to verify exactly what size you have, but you can check your VIN number and you can probably find out what size you have there. But most of the time they're at least 220 amps on the diesels. Don't know about the gasoline versions, what they have. If you figure that your alternator is probably 220 amps at a minimum, then you're safe to use 2 of these Orion DC to DC chargers, the newer XS 1400s, because they pull 50 amps each, so that's 100. That's less than half of the 220. Okay, so just verify that before you decide that you're going to do 2 of these DC to DC chargers.
Hey guys, are you a DIY van builder? That's how we started, and we love to support the DIY community. So we've created some resources that have helped in our journey, and we've made them available to you. We've got a free spreadsheet with all of the materials we use in our conversions. That's taken hundreds of hours to research and that we've tested and proven out. We have a download with the vanbuild sequence that we use in all of our conversions. Plus, we've got other products on our website that tons of DIY builders have found helpful. Check out the links in description below for more details.
Okay, so there's 2 or 3 different spots that you can connect your DC to DC chargers. One is directly to the starter battery. That's a great way to do it, perfectly safe. It can be a little bit tricky to get the wires up in there. There's a boot underneath the driver's seat, and you can feed the wires up into there, but it's kind of tricky because that boot will lead right into the driver's seat pedestal, and you kind of get it over to the side of that, run it through a channel and into the battery bay. And so it can be a little bit tricky. It's doable. The best way to do it is get like a fish tape or cable that you can feed through first, attach your wire, and then pull it through. Then you're just going to attach your cable directly to the positive post on the starter battery. I'm not going to show you all that because it's pretty straightforward. Whatever you do, you want to use a breaker or fuse very close to the battery, very close to your connection, to protect the battery in case there's a short somewhere along the way, that it doesn't damage your factory electrical system. So in this case, if we're using the 2 Orions in parallel, pulling 100 amps, we want to use like 125 to 150 amp fuse or breaker. Okay, so you would just connect that at the battery. Great way to go with that route is to use what's called an MRBF fuse, marine rated battery fuse. You can connect that directly to the battery post, put your fuse on, and then connect your cable to that. There's also locations underneath the driver's seat. I don't recommend those. They're kind of a pain because if you ever blow a fuse or trip the breaker, you gotta pull your seat out to be able to get at that, and it's really a pain. Another location is there's a fuse block right off of the battery where you can tie in and add a MIDI fuse, M-I-D-I, to that block and tie into that. But what I'm going to show you is a really simple place that we use. Let me turn the camera around. Here's the front wheel on the driver's side, and kind of directly underneath the driver seat is this little, are these terminals. These wires are coming directly off the battery. You can see this is a large size one, and you can tie into this post. You can see we've connected this wires for a light bar that we're doing because this van actually has a secondary alternator, so we haven't used this. But this is, again, coming straight off the factory battery. You can tie into this. It's wrapped in loom and it's hard to see, but underneath these 2 red wires is a large watt cable that's coming off the battery. That's what feeds these posts right here. And so if connecting into that, you're connecting directly into the factory battery. Now again, you're going to want to put a breaker or fuse very close to this. The recommended is within 7 or 8 inches. That can be a little bit tricky to mount it that close, but that's the best practice, is to get a breaker or fuse very close to this. Then what we recommend is just to run your cables alongside the factory cables. You're going to come back and you're just going to follow where wiring goes. We like to put all of our wires in wire loom. You can see the factory, they've done that on most of these. But anyway, here, this is the boot that I was talking about, that you can, it just has a zip tie. You can cut that, you can open it up, you can feed wires up through that if you want to go directly to the starter battery. Okay, and then you just put a zip tie back on and close it up. And as you're routing your wires, you want to stay away from the exhaust system because it gets really hot. So as best you can, stay away. We've got an extended fuel tank in this van and our gray tank. But before we do all those, we would run the wires right up here along the chassis, and we'd run them back, zip tying it all the way to the chassis. You can see right here, we've got some things connected where our wiring is run. So we just attach it all the way down to this beam on the chassis. We usually put our electrical on the passenger side, so you're gonna need to cross over to the other side of the van. So we go over the top of the fuel tank. If you just have the factory fuel tank, it ends a lot shorter than this one. And you can come across, just across this beam right here, keep it up high away from this exhaust wrapped in loom. And then you can see here, because we've done a secondary alternator on this van has everything running down the passenger side because that's where the secondary alternator is. But you can see what we've done. We've just put all these wires, zip tied them up nice and tight to the frame, and then we're gonna go up into the van. And I'm gonna go up in the van and show you exactly where we bring it up through. You wanna put everything in loom. The factory has all these small holes like this, and you can use zip ties that actually go into these holes. You can see this one right here. They have these little prongs and they go in and they're really strong. And that's what we use for the most part, is to zip tie these, and we just push those into the frame of the van to attach them. So whether you're coming down the driver's side and going up in, or if you're crossing over, you're gonna cross over as high as you can above the exhaust, and then you've got to get up into the van. You see that grommet right there? We've passed all of our wires, and we've got quite a few of them because we've got a secondary alternator in this van. And that grommet is just in front of the rear tire on the passenger side, and just at the back of the step. We just drill holes through that grommet and we run the wires through it and then feed those wires up into the van. I'm going to jump up into the van and show you where those come out. Okay, so we're up in the van now. You can see just at the back of the sliding door, there's kind of that opening in the wall of the van, and that's where we've brought everything up through. So I'm going to pull the insulation back and just see if we can see down in there. You can kind of see there's a kind of a little wall. So what we do there is we just drill out some holes that we need, 2 or 3, 1, 2, 3, however many we need, and we drill those out with a hole saw. And then we use these little grommets and put them in place to protect the wires. So those wires can be fed just down through there and out through that bigger hole where that grommet is, and we pass those through. Now this is an electrical system that's just on the bench that we haven't installed yet, but I'm going to show you where we connect that. So what we do now is we'll bring the main cable coming up through the bottom of the van and through that wall and connect it to this terminal right here. So it'll be connected right here, and then here we have 2 wires coming off of it going to our Orion XS 1400s. You can see we have 2 of those right here. So we've got the input coming from this terminal to the input side on both of these, and then we've got the output side going to our Lynx distributor, and then we've got the ground for both of these going to the Lynx distributor. Now there can be a lot of questions about whether to use an isolated or non-isolated DC to DC charger, but now most of them are only doing just the non-isolated, so they just have a single ground. That goes to your distributor, and then your distributor you want grounded to the chassis. So hopefully this video answers a lot of questions that you might have about connecting to your factory starter battery to charge your house battery system. Now, if you want to see more videos about van building, van life tips and tricks, then be sure to subscribe to our channel and be sure to smash that like button. And we'll see you in the next video. Jeff with Thrive Vans, thrive on. See ya.